Hi everyone, welcome to Code Kamka's YouTube channel. I hope everybody are doing good. In the last video, we had discussed about how to add or how to register a runner with a GitHub Actions. So today's video, we are going to discuss about with the help of that runner, so how can we create a simple workflow in GitHub Actions? Or in other hands, we can say a first pipeline in a GitHub Actions. So stay tuned till this video, and if you like my explanation, I request you to like, share, subscribe to Code Kamkaj. So here, this is my repository, which is the first pipeline, and here we don't have any, pipeline has been enabled or any workflows has been written. So if you would like to enable a simple workflow, which having a very basic script that you can run for play around, understanding the GitHub Actions or just how looking at how the GitHub Actions UI works when comparing to other CI/CD tool. So for that, you just need to come to the tab called as GitHub Actions button. So just press on it. So once you press on it, so the entire console of GitHub Actions will be open, and here it's saying that you can start at GitHub Actions workflows, and if you'd like to create your own workflows, you can create it. And if you'd like to create a simple workflow which is managed by GitHub, so which will be written by GitHub itself, and you can just click on the configure, it will be open a new file, and you just need to change few things. If you'd like to do that, if you'd like to integrate with a self-hosted run, you can do that. Or if you would like to run the workflow with a GitHub runner, so just you just need to commit up, everything will be you know um, everything will be run as per the workflows. And the GitHub Actions giving a wide range of features, like if you can use for deployment, security, and continuous integrations and automations, lot more, it's of pages, you can integrate that. So this is the beauty of GitHub Actions, and you can integrate those all the features with that. So for today's video, we just need to create a simple workflow, so that's why I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to use a very minimum necessary structure for creating the first pipeline in GitHub Actions. So I'm just going to press on configure, which is managed by GitHub only. So here has open directory and workflows and everything, so it is asking for commit the changes. So if I press commit changes, it will create the workflows. But wait, before that we need to understand what workflow it says that. So here this is the workflow name, and here this is the events that have been um, added by GitHub itself. So in the configure simple configure session, so here I have not written any file here. So once I click on configure, it will automatically create the directory and subdirectory. Again, it has created the blank.yaml. So it is asking me to commit the changes. So until unless commit the changes, until unless it won't create any pipeline. So here it has been giving so two events, which is a push and branch is a main, and if pull request and branch is main. So either one of the any actions or any events has been occurred, so this workflow or this pipeline will be run. So next one, we have the workflow dispatcher, so we can manually trigger by using this component. So we'll discuss that later in the coming session. But the thing that we need to discuss is the jobs. So here we have the one job called as a build, and this is the job name. And this is amazing thing here we need to discuss, which is the runs on. So runs on in the sense of GitHub, whenever you press on configure, it will redirect it to the default GitHub host runner. But we have already have a self host runner, and we have configured that over here, and we would like to use that runner our self host runner. So for that, you need to replace this ubuntu latest, which is a GitHub host runner pointing to your self host runner. So for that, my self host runner tag is a self hosted. This is the tag of my runner, which we have already configured, and we have discussed this in the last video. So you need to give the same tag that you have given to your own server that you have added into your GitHub Actions as a runner. So given that, and here I have the multiple steps. The first step is users actions checkout at v4. So this is a reusable component. If you'd like to check out your source code, and instead of writing the a number of code or something, so what GitHub is did, it has created few reusable components that you can utilize it as per your daily use cases in your GitHub Actions. Instead of writing with your own hands, so GitHub has given a n number of reusable components. So that's what it is, you're going to check out your entire source code by using of this uses component. So the next one we have the step in this step, so we are going to call some kind of script as a task. In that, this is the name of our a task, which is a run a one line script. So we are going to run one line script that the script is called as a shell scripting. So here we are going to pass it as a run. So if you'd like to run any command or like in any script, so you need to use the run. So here I'm going to call the echo hello world, which means like I'm going to use the shell scripting over here. So instead of hello world, what I will do, I'll say that subscribe to Code Kamkaji. And this is the script. I have customized it, I have added as per my requirement. It's a simple workflows. And the downside, we have the run a multi-line script. So if you like to run a multi-line script, you can use this way. So because it's just letting you to understand, so this is how you can run a single line script and multi-line script. So you can add like any other things like if you like to add add other actions to build, and you can say that uh, this is my first pipeline. So you can add any number of script instead of this shell scripting. So it will print those all the text. Text that you have been added into the shell scripting. So this is how you can play around with the simple workflow in GitHub. So and if you have committed these changes, so you, so as per this workflow, so you are committing all the changes into main branch. So that's why it will create your pipeline. So if you haven't mentioned any main, so it won't let create your branch because you haven't specified any events over here. So that's why the GitHub itself has configured it because I have been using a main branch since I have created the this series. So I'm going to commit all the changes into this main branch. So if I click on here, it is going to ask for commit messages, and I say that and updated the shell script, and I press commit message. So now my all changes has been committed into main branch. If I go to actions, I will see one pipeline with the workflow of CI, and this is my commit message name, and which was pushed by me, Shake Byte, and this is my commit ID. So if I press enter on this, so I can see my build has been succeeded. I mean, my pipeline has been succeeded, and these all the script that it has ran. So first, it will setting up or connecting to the runner that we have added as a self-hosted runner. This is the runner version, and this is the runner name and branch. I mean group and the IP address, and this is the related to token, all the accesses and permissions, and this is the basic information you can read on. And this is the one we have added as a reusable component. So it is checking out the code which have used this one actions checking out at v4. And here we have we can see the log related to one line script. So if you see, if I expand this, so here we have been running shell scripting echo hello world and subscribe to Code Kamkaji with the shell scripting. So now it has given output over here. And this is a one line script that we have added as a task. If you want to see the multi-line scripts, you can just press on it. So it will show you the multi-line script that we have added. And this is how it has ran the shell scripting, and it has printed the text that we have added into the shell scripting at the echo level. So this is how you can just play around with the simple workflow and single pipeline in GitHub Actions. And in upcoming section, we'll discuss how we can integrate all the best practices of pipelines and DevOps, DevSecOps, and all the best practices which we see in a real world. So I hope it is clear for you, and I hope you have understood this. So if you haven't understand, so I request you to drop your comments in comment section. And if you like my explanation, I request you to again like, share, subscribe to Code Kamkaji YouTube channel. And once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Until then, bye bye.